Adjust your shorts and prepare yourselves to get kicked in the dick by the news. It is I, Hooray, of the plain, dirty white t-shirts clan, which can only mean one thing. We don't have a lot of time. I got shit to do, so let's jump right on into it. Today is Tuesday, November 11th. It's a day like any other day, except it's totally different. Let's find out what's happening in the news, shall we? Yeah, okay, this is going to be good. First up, Senate passes bill to reopen the government. House set to return to D.C. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. The government's open. Said nobody ever. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. Thank goodness the government is open for business. Pull down your shorts and get ready, begin. I always used to say like, oh, fuck it, let them stay closed. The only problem, obviously, with that is, well, there are people who need the government to be open, such as people who rely on food stamps and benefits and stuff like that. It is crazy to me that you can just hamstring an entire class of people because you want what you want in a government bill, and zero heart about it. And it's just like, yeah, they're all Israelis. That's the way I'm looking at it now. They're all fucking Israelis. It doesn't matter. Everybody in there. It's crazy to me that 94, because one gave it back, of our 100 senators are on the take from Israel. Like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I love the dude that's walking around on TikTok, comes across my feed all the time, and he asks senators, Israeli first or America first? America first or Israel first? America first or Israel first? And they won't answer because their answer is Israel first. Go fuck yourself, you stupid American. All right, let's pop in. Jon Stewart said, now this is interesting about the shutdown, and he's totally right, except I don't agree with it. He said, basically he's condemning the Democrats for a failure because they backed off on the shutdown. I'm like, well, what the fuck? We don't want it to be shut down, do we? But Stewart's take on it is, well, you actually were getting ground. The Republican Party was losing its base. People were getting pissed off at them because the information has gotten out that the main reason for the shutdown is to deny Arizona's representative of the House, not the Senate, but Grijalva would be the 218th vote to release the Epstein files. The way that Senate works, or the way that Congress works, is the Speaker of the House can deny any bill that passes unless you get a certain number of votes from the House of Representatives. Then you have to, it's called passing a resolution to override the Speaker of the House. So the one cunt in the way, there is one single person in the way of releasing the Epstein file names, and that is Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. So Mike Johnson, from the heart of everyone against pedophiles, go fuck yourself. I hope somebody fights you in your face. Moving on. Trump live updates. Trump tariffs, live updates. India and Swiss near trade deal with Trump. But China to keep U.S. military from getting rare earths. Now, this has been a sticking point, and Trump is out there touting all these great, wonderful trade deals. He's such a fucking liar. It's not even funny. He's out there saying, oh, we're getting the best trade deals. All these trade deals are just amazing. And meanwhile, he's been trying to apply pressure on China. China has a ton of rare earths that our military wants. And China says, fuck you. I love it when a baby like Donald Trump gets some medicine. When somebody tells a baby like Donald Trump no, it makes me happy because no, Donald Trump, no. Like I tell my puppy every day, no, Donald, it's a no. All right, NBC. Trump says he's not happy with air traffic controllers who wouldn't work without pay during the shutdown. I got news for you. You take away my pay for a month and a fucking half. You take away my pay for 1 week. I'm not coming back. But he's saying, well, they are considered essential workers, so they are obligated to work without pay. Yeah, Don? Can we please, those reality games where you go live for $1, a day? We should make Donald Trump, we should make every politician live on $15,000 a year. A $15,000 a year salary, and we'll give them all the benefits. We'll give them all the benefits, and we'll give them the housing that these $15,000 a year people have, and you make them live like that for, 1 month? 1 month. Is that too much to ask? To have our president experience life through the eyes of someone who is in the poverty zone? And then take away their benefits and then increase their taxes by a crazy margin. By the end of 2029, if you're making under $15,000, your taxes will go up by 100%. Because in stages, it goes up by 27% and then it goes up by an additional 70-something%. They literally are doubling the taxes for the people who have the least in this country. And it's like, in a way, it's like, so this thing about I always say this, okay, they take right, I make money, they take taxes from me. Okay? Then, if I can't afford the things that I need, I have to apply for a government subsidy to get my own money back. But if you would have just let me keep the money, I would have enough to pay for the shit that I need. Fuck! Moving on. Newsweek is blank today. So Newsweek caught on to the fact that I'm looking at it, I guess, and we will see what okay. Violent protests erupt at Charlie Kirk event in Berkeley. The TPUSA, it was the final boss was Berkeley, California, and it turned violent. And I just feel like it's a sham. It's a shill. Everybody knows that TPUSA was Charlie Kirk. Nobody cares about Erica Kirk. Nobody cares about whoever is taking over to do the interviews for him. The reason it was good is it was fetching. And he was fast as a gun at getting facts out. And they would post when he would get trounced by somebody who has their head on their shoulders and was level and is a thinker. But this new bullshit that they're trying to pull, nobody fucking cares. The reason they shot Charlie Kirk is he had the ear of the youths. And that's the most dangerous person because the government is desperately trying to control the youths by stripping them of their education and screwing them into a position in life that cannot get ahead and that cannot challenge the status quo. And what was Charlie Kirk doing right before he died? He started challenging his own narratives, his own beliefs in Israel first, his own backers. It really is Israel, Israel, Israel. And I'm like, is it? It's like they're trying to convince us. Just, it's in the name. Look, it is real. No, it is not. How about, I heard Tucker Carlson say an interesting thing to Nick Fuentes on the interview, and I haven't listened to the whole thing, but up top, he said, do you think there's a thing where if I call you a name enough times, even if you're nowhere near that thing, eventually, because you start defending your position against it, you start thinking about you being that thing. And then slowly you turn into that thing. And I'm like, there is magic in words like that. I don't know if it works exactly like that, but I do know it's obvious to me. If you can lie to people and half of them will believe you, there's clearly magic in words because you can lie and it becomes truth. That's magic if I've ever seen magic. It's a lie that looks like the truth. And I was really, really proud for whatever reason because I never attribute these talking heads to having an open mind and thinking about things the way that I think about things. Somewhat esoteric, somewhat cerebral, somewhat just, physical world stuff. But what I love to see is when a mega famous person who's got this huge platform says, do you think there's a thing where If someone calls you a thing, they can call you that thing enough times until eventually you become that thing. Well, Israel is not real. Is not real. Isn't real. Isn't real. I'm going to start calling them isn't real in my everyday speech. So if you're listening to this and you like that idea, let's call it isn't real. I was watching the news about isn't real the other day, and ooh, I like it. I'm keeping it. All right, BBC. Will House Republicans budge on health care? This is a key sticking point, and the point of this this little piece of information, at least for me, is to say that the Republicans are losing ground. This is the big issue here. Because they're unable to pass this resolution, and they're keeping a sex offender, and they were in charge of the government shutdown, and they're in charge of starving people. People are not happy. The base is turning. We want Democrats again, even though like the Democrats is the Clintons, which isn't real, which isn't real first. Isn't real first means America first in my mind. All right, ABC, let's see what's going on over here. Oh, Hawaii's Kilauea volcano once again shooting lava more than 1,000 feet into the air. That is just absolutely wild. I mean, super cool. It's crazy. Like one thing that I think of, it's like, okay, when they say they were pulling oil from the earth and that oil is running out, and it's like clearly that's a game that they want to raise oil prices. I think to myself, okay, we're pulling this oil out, so we're creating cavities in the earth, so we must be reducing the pressure, and that's why there's sinkholes. But it's like, yeah, but there are also still pressurized lava pots, and I'm guessing in lava, probably oil mixed with rock, really hot, is what burns. That's my guess. That's a good question, actually. We should look up what the hell burns in lava. When lava is so hot, it's molten rock, but how did it catch on fire? All right, CBS News, shutdown deal moves to the House after Senate passage. This is, now it's up to the House. So it could be that the government stays shut down. I think that the House is closer to their constituency that they represent, fractions of their states. And I think that they really stand to lose their position if they actually vote against reopening the government, because these are the people who actually feed the faces. And what I would love to see is the government to reopen so that our Arizona representative Grijalva can get in there and vote against this motherfucker right here who is in charge of blocking the Epstein files from getting out. For better or for worse, let the fucking files speak for themselves and let the people deal with it. We're not babies out here, guys. We're fucking adults. We deal with harder shit than you guys. The craziest thing in the world is for a government to say that its people aren't able to deal with the potential of aliens or war or sex offenders. We are. Our lives are actually difficult. Your fucking powder puff, cream pie, fucking cake eating, fucking money wad in your pocket lives, that's not hard. Real life is hard. Getting on your knees and fucking chipping tile, getting onto a roof and risking your fucking nuts, that shit's hard. So I asked, because that was CBS News, I was like, all right, is CBS owned by Isntreal? Because I saw a clip that Isntreal had purchased CBS. And the answer is no, the country of Isntreal hasn't purchased CBS. Instead, Skydance Media acquired Paramount Global in 2025, which basically puts David Ellison, who is the son of tech billionaire Larry Ellison, tech richest billionaire. This is the guy who is now in competition, goes back and forth with Elon Musk over who's the richest of them all. Mirror, magic mirror on the wall. Isn't real of them all. So yes is the answer. Larry Ellison, who is in Isntreal's pocket, now owns CBS. So keep your eyes on that prize. And there you go. Larry Ellison is a prominent and vocal supporter of Israel. This is Google's AI overview. He has once stated, for 2,000 years, we were stateless. Now we have our own country, defended by the brave men and women of the IDF. Come on, buddy. Your fucking mustache isn't real. NBC News, Trump requests Supreme Court overturn the Jean Carroll sex abuse and defamation verdict, where she was awarded, I think, $500 million or something. Oh, $5 million in a judgment because he allegedly sexually assaulted her. And it's like, so you're just asking them to overturn it? No, you're fucking guilty. Grab him by the pussy. Does anyone remember this? It is what he said. I usually just grab him by the pussy. Yeah, it's fucking illegal, you cunt. You and your buddy Jeffrey Epstein walking around grabbing these young girls by the pussy is gonna come back to haunt you. And yes, correct, like you said recently in a news interview, you are not going to heaven. Probably because it isn't real. And you're going to live out your days on earth in hell in your own mind, knowing that nobody likes you. The craziest thing about a guy like Donald Trump, the thing he fears the most is disapproval. Probably because he had disapproval from his parents, because he's a dumb fuck under a fucking rich-ass household family name, and they knew they couldn't get away with it. He squandered his daddy's money once. He got bailed out by the fucking Russians to the tune of $1 billion, and now he's in the pocket of whomever the fuck bailed him out. Let's move on. You like how my voice gets higher the angrier I get? All right, and last up, I just had to Google it because it's not in the news. Epstein, and he's all over the fucking news if you Google it. 10 hours ago, with Trump's shutdown ending, Dems are closer than ever to forcing Epstein files release. So, one piece of at least fairly good news is uncover the fucking cunts who are covering up these fucking cunts who touch people where they're not supposed to be touched. I'm going to get a touch me doll, and I'm going to tell you, don't touch me here. So, with that, it isn't real, and you can pull your shorts back down to their normal levels. Consider yourselves cracked in the dwack by the news. My name's Ray, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye.